fix it. There we go. All right, a little bit of a mic mishap there, and you've not heard the last minute and a half, 2 minutes of what I've been saying. So Friday night, you know what that means. We're here for another round of the Australian NASCAR eSeries Friday Night Trucks, powered by Beat the Dark. Mental health matters. It is round 13 of the NASCAR Truck Series. We are in Darlington Raceway, 147 laps. Qualifying is just about done. Jason Holdsworth currently holds a quick time 28.667. Ron Thompson just behind him in second, 28.680. We've got a tie for third and fourth. Matthew Budden, Lachlan Akijo, 28.755 apiece. There's Lachlan on our screens right now. We've got 24.847 and 28.878. Daniel Stevens and Adam Malone. It's going to cut over 20 drivers here, so we'll see their proper qualifying order in just a moment. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll try and make sure we get these technical issues out of the way early. Turn the trucks back up a little bit. All right, so Jason Holdsworth, obviously said here, quick time Ron Thompson was 1/100th of a second slower. I started again, so he'll be outside on that front row. Behind them on the second row, Matthew Budden, Lachlan Akijo, Daniel Stevens, and Adam Malone on the third row. Fourth row is going to be Darren McKenzie and Stephen Williams. The cam for all those beautiful cars. Kelvin Clark and Henry King will be on that fifth row. Colin Bruns, Nigel Seidel, sixth row. Seventh row, Aaron Gilbert and Adam Johnson, Tim L. Blundell and Ruben Phelps on that eighth row. Ninth row will be Matthew Raymond and Brian Blundell. Then Maxie Marshall and Marty Mitchell. That is not going to be a mouthful at all. Line up on that fifth and final row. So we're waiting on a couple of cars still to hit the track. I count about 4. Aging Ron Thompson, Lachlan Akijo, Adam Malone, and Darren McKenzie is get to the track. Alright, what did Nigel call this track earlier? I believe it's the Lady in Black. It's known as. I'm not a big fan of Darlington. I do tend to try and avoid it as much as possible. Where did I see it? Yeah, the Lady in Black. I call it the paperclip. Turns 1 and 2. They sort of feel like a normal 1 and 2 that you would expect on most tracks. But then 3 and 4 narrows down that backstretch into a very shorter, thinner 3 and 4. So yeah, just imagine a Star Gamer. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Appreciate you. Sounds quiet on Twitch. It's all broadcast via the same software, so I'll just turn the bits up and trucks down just a fraction. Appreciate the fine feedback. Alright, so yeah, as I say, main event, 147 laps. This is the last chance to earn yourself a spot in the playoffs. I was going to say the easy way, but let's face it, winning a race here is never... Winning a race with this lot is never easy, let alone winning a race here at Darlington. Trying to get up to the leaders. Pace car has left the track. The 11's Jason Holdsworth. He's our race restarter. Ron Thompson on the outside. He'll be looking to get a good jump as well. Hit that restart zone. Geico restart zone, but just before the start-finish line there on the infield as we get going on lap 1. 147 times around this beautiful Lady in Black. Well, it looks like we might have already had our first casualty. I'm not sure if somebody just pulled out of the line there or was forced out of it. running. A lot of them running a lot higher. I'm trying to run this track. I'm trying to see close to the yellow line. Would be probably why I don't have as much time. There's Henry King on our screens at 52. 6 of Ruben Phelps, 203 of that's Aaron Gilbert. Sorry, Aaron. Why am I blanked on you there, brother? 1 and 2 can be a bit tricky though if you do carry a little bit too much speed or if the tyre wears a little bit more than you'd like. As you drift up a little bit and the wall will be, stop saying the wall will be a problem. Lap 4 underway, keeping an eye on the track map. Jason Holdsworth still the race leader. Thompson, Lachlan Akijo, Matthew Budd and Daniel Stevens are the 5. Darren McKenzie, Adam Malone, Stephen Hughes, Kelvin Clark, Colin Bruns, Henry King, Ruben Phelps, Aaron Nigel Seidel, Adam Johnson, Tim Blundell, Brian Blundell, Matthew Raymond, Max Marshall, Marty Mitchell rounds out the 20-car field. Levels insane, head to mine especially. Might have to look at a new headset maybe. Ooh. Look for the boys to use a lot of patience these first 70 odd laps. They can time it right, they can go the one pit stop, go all the way. May need to go twice depending on if there's a caution early. Oh, this is the 4 of Tim L. Blundell, the Adam Johnson, Aaron Gilbert, Nigel Seidel, Henry King. I think that was Ruben Phelps up ahead of them as well. Boys, as I say, they'll just be feeling the track out, finding out where that comfortable line is. Keep enough speed where they don't feel like they're rubbing tyre too much. Too much tyre, fuel consumption. Ride it out. Get a bit further in through the race. Pretty tricky these races. It's sort of they're generally about what, an hour and a half long. But if you get practice and whatnot, the other boy. Oh, look out the 203. We see him getting loose. Nice save though. Aaron Gilbert just lets it drift out of the way, keeps it nice and under control, gets it back under control, back under forward movement. There he goes. But, yeah, so when the tyres haven't warmed up yet, it's only lap 9, tyres won't be fully hot yet, sticky. If you carry a little bit too much speed, it burns, that rear will go out from you. 86 Brian Blundell. Currently riding in 16th place, but doing fine. 31.85 was his last lap. Quick time was 29.549, so only about half a second off the pace. At this stage, it's really not that big a deal. There are going to have to be there will be a stop somewhere in the race, whether it's under green flag or not. We'll have to wait and see. There's the 4 of Tim Blundell. He's taken on the 52 of Henry King. Felt he had a little bit more speed and wanted to get the truck up in front of him rather than behind him. Leaves him to pick up all the time. Oh, my throat. quickest race car out there at the moment. It's the 98. Stephen Williams currently at 6th spot. 29.277 is his quick time. Last lap 29.805. So showing that he has a bit of speed there. Let's see how he uses it. Alright, a 10th of the way into this race. Say it every week, 140, 200 laps, 150, whatever these guys do, it's insane. Just the endurance alone to run that many laps, let alone do them good, prove, and make sure you're better than some of the other guys around you. No, that's just a little bit too much to worry about. There's the 52 Henry King, Matthew Raymond in front of him. It looks like that's Marty Mitchell dropping down to make a run past Henry King there. Coming in a bit lower and under speed as you get on the brakes, it'll drift. You can still carry it up into the line of the other car, forcing them to slow down. There's 6 of Ruben Phelps. Colin Bruns behind him in the 1111 Middle Finger Racing truck back there. Really get a sense of speed on those track cams, don't you, as they race past. It's crazy. Jump up to the lead to show you Jason Holdsworth managed to actually run some pretty consistent laps. 31.1 was his last lap. 29.3 is his fastest, but he is starting to pull away. We just saw the 22 just then, Ron Thompson. There's the 11, about 1.5 seconds ahead. Let's watch Jason's next lap. Get a bit of a feel for the line he's running, what seems to be the most efficient way. Seems to be using it the track well, just got obviously as much as he wants, where he wants it. Not really any competition for real estate, but having a great old time of it out there. Of course, Ron Thompson, Lachlan Akijo, Matthew Budd, Stephen Williams, still the top 5. Then we've got, who we got? Daniel Stevens, Adam Malone, Darren McKenzie, Ruben Phelps, Nigel Studdell. I'm sure Stephen Williams and Daniel Stevens just place near each other on purpose, just excuse me. Yeah, wait, Maxie Marshall coming up on the 229 of Adam Johnson. Like Brian Blundell, start that again. Brian Blundell, Matthew Raymond, back there behind them. It looked like as well. Not a lot of action so far, but I can see on the track map that the leaders, especially Jason Holdsworth and Ron Thompson, coming up on not lap traffic, but what we could and will become lap traffic. 203 of Aaron Gilbert. He's in 20th place. You see Henry King back there, just a little bit further in front of him. So we'll keep an eye on that at this stage now. It looks like it's probably going to be a lap or two before it's really an issue, if any, but we'll have to wait and see. Sorry about that. Phone was not on vibrate. Lap 24 of 147. Not a lot of action so far. Say the guys will be willing to just keep it very patient, very sort of not push their luck too much at this stage. Still plenty of racing to come, still at least one pit stop. You don't want to be a caution to cause that. Might not see too much for the first 40 minutes of this race. Clark, Brian Blundell. We've got that is Adam Johnson. Oh, Brian might have put a little bit too much pressure on Kelvin there, but himself as well. Up 26. I think the tyres definitely starting to get pretty hot, pretty sticky. You have to make sure you don't make them do anything too crazy. Oh, my mic was. Damn it. Jason Holdsworth now starting to battle that lap traffic. He's just gotten past Marty Mitchell. That will be Ron Thompson coming up behind Marty there on our screens. Up ahead of Jason is Aaron Gilbert, Adam Johnson, Henry King, Kelvin Clark and Brian Blundell. There's still a few cars to get through to ensure that he can still ride his lines, hit his marks. Levin's taking on the 203 of Aaron Gilbert. Not going to be much of a battle there. Of course, we'll let Jason through. Jason dropping down, I think, to get a run. I thought maybe he got spat out there. You can never tell. This track. What's the highest I rating on the grid right now? Right now, let me just quickly scan. So average is 21.51, but I think the highest 36, 35, 4793 with an A 4.88 license. And that's our current race leader, Noah. Yeah, the 11 there on our screens. All right, well, he's managed to successfully get through the majority of that lap traffic, so we'll resume our look around the field. The 22 who's in second, and the 203 Aaron Gilbert in 17th lap traffic. Ron wants to get back into that battle. I think it's Daniel Stevens there. That is Adam Malone, Matthew Butt up ahead of him. Darren McKenzie back there behind him. Lap 36 will be lap 37 very, very soon. Oh, there's our first accident. Darren McKenzie getting something ready for the broadcast, and I missed that, so I'm just going to quickly roll back, and we'll watch that one play out all over again. A little bit of nose contact there between him and the 57, it seems. It looks like he went to get out of the way, but the 06 not realizing what was going on, got caught up in it. That's going to be our first caution. All right, this is our first caution. Have a little break, little Bobbit's TV break. I'll be back in just 2 moments. All right, we're on a lap of 40. It's going to be lap 41 in just a moment as they roll around and catch up to the pace car. Top three has not changed. Jason Holdsworth, Ron A. Thompson, Lachlan Akizio, Stephen Williams and Adam Malone are fourth and fifth. But see a couple of cars heading into the pits. Aaron Gilbert, Adam Johnson, Kelvin Clark. Looks like Darren McKenzie has unfortunately parked it after that incident. So 19 cars still remain, 16 of those on the lead lap currently. We've still got another, I think, a lap or so to go before we get back to our 1 to green to get this race back under green flag conditions. There it is, 1 to green. The 777, he is just a lap down. So, yeah, 16 cars on the lead lap. Adam Johnson, Kelvin Clark, Marty Mitchell, all a lap down. But anything can happen. Still plenty of time to come. Jason Holdsworth and Ron Thompson, of course, will be the front row. Lachlan Akisha on Stephen Williams, second row. Third row is going to be Adam Malone and Daniel Stevens. Matthew Budd and Nigel Seidel in that fourth row. Fifth row is Matthew Raymond and Ruben Phelps, Maxie Marshall and Tim L. Blundell. On that sixth row, seventh row, Colin Bruns and Henry King. Brian Blundell and Aaron Gilbert on that eighth row. Ninth row is going to be Adam Johnson and Marty Mitchell. Kelvin Clark will have that 10th row all to himself in 19th place. There's that start finish line. We are off and racing. Lap 43 underway of 147. Just 105 laps remain in this race. So we're about a third of the way in. Let's get back to normal camera action. That's a pretty good single file line, but it's being led by Jason Holdsworth. Has been for about 44 laps. Now, everyone has been in and out of the pits, it seems. So this next run could go all the way up into the hundreds. So where I live, my house is sort of on the entrance to my suburb, and it's been raining all day, so guys, I think they can do burnouts of their cars out, so I can hear outside and over my headphones is the sounds of like poorly screeching tires. I think a bit of atmosphere. do the broadcast for me at least. So likes to pick it up for you guys. There we go. I think my levels were too low. Lock that in. Alright. Okay, we'll see if it's a bit quieter now or not, but they're like 3/4. Move all the way up. Riding along with Adam Malone in 5th place. Lachlan Akijo just ahead of him. I think Daniel Stevens, Ruben Phelps just back there behind them. We saw briefly. Yeah, there they are. That might even be Matthew Budd back there as well. So Ruben Phelps just following Henry King's line a bit. Sorry, that's Daniel Stevens. That's the 57, not the 52, Bob. That is the 57 Polaris off-road sponsored vehicle of one Daniel Stevens. Racing through these laps, just been the one caution so far. We're now on lap 52. The 48 laps of green flag racing have transpired here so far. A minor little incident that led to a bit of major damage for Darren McKenzie. Ruben Phelps, who the third party was. Just momentarily saw Ruben with the scrapes up the left side. His battle scars from that part of the race. Pretty sure the racing order, the leaderboard could freeze at this point and it wouldn't matter. Jason Holdsworth, Ron Thompson, Stephen Williams, Lachlan Akijo and Adam Malone still our top 5. Ruben Phelps, Daniel Stevens, Matthew Budd, Nigel Seidel and Matthew Raymond's our top 10. Maxie Marshall, Colin Bruns, Henry King and Aaron Gilbert round out. Brian and Tim Blundell both round out our 16 cars on the lead lap. Looks like Marty Mitchell's heading in to the pits there. Might need to repair some issues. Adam Johnson and Kelvin Clark still a lap down as well in 17th and 18th place. Jason Holdsworth holds the quickest lap out there, 29.124. 31.06 was the quickest last lap. Stephen Williams back there in third. Oh, a little bit of wall contact there, the 337. That is Matthew Budd. That's the concentration that's needed. You see there, the 337 just on entry into the corner, scraping the wall a little bit. Either getting a bit restless or that tyre wear's starting to play a factor. 20 laps in already. There it is again. Oh, this one's going to be a bit worse if he doesn't hold it. Yeah. The way when you hit it and you flick off and you try and correct, you almost always slam back up into it worse. So well held by Matthew Budd. Oh, someone else just hitting into the wall. I believe that's 57 Daniel Stevens. Second place, Ron Thompson just getting past Kelvin Clark, Marty Mitchell there. Stephen Williams also coming along. So the top three still racing their battle. Brian Blundell in 17th. He's actually got the third place. Stephen Williams there in front of him. We're going to jump back to Ruben Phelps in 6th. There's Adam Malone and Lachlan Akisha up there in front of him. 5th and 4th respectively. Not far off the halfway mark here. At 10 so laps to go. Lap 65, about to come to an end. There it is, the 11. I can see him on the track map getting over that start-finish line, the 06. Lachlan Akijo, he is just coming out of 4. He'll get to the start-finish line just now. Lap 66 of 147, only the one caution. We've lost one driver so far. That is the 02 of Darren McKenzie. That was about 29 laps ago. We wish him the best of luck. 98 Stephen Williams popping out there on Adam Johnson lap traffic, so he can get back into that battle with Ron Thompson, the blue truck up ahead of him. All right, guys, just hold the line. Just, yeah, enjoy the action. I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, that's the end of lap 69 as I see Jason Hosworth gets to the start finish line for lap 70. 31 lap green flag run for him right now after the first caution way back in lap 29. No, lap 39, sorry. We'll get that right in a moment. I reckon the boys could probably get it up into the hundreds, lap hundreds, before they need to worry about fuel again after that early stop. Got a little bit of a blinking issue there. It looks like that's Ruben Phelps back in 5th place. Just the one blink though, so hopefully nothing too crazy. Stephen Williams, Brian Blundell, Tim Blundell, Marty Mitchell, Adam Johnson. We officially get to the halfway mark of this race. 74 laps have been raced, 74 still to come. So there was that early caution back around lap 30, late 30s, 39 I believe it was. So look for the boys to get another 30, 35 laps in before they need to worry about visiting the pits yet again. That should set themselves up nicely for a good 40 lap home run. Akija there in front of Stephen Williams. Lachlan three laps down in 16th place. So we can see, I can see on the track map there. Yeah, sorry, on the leaderboard, Aaron Gilbert. He's a lap down. Adam Johnson, Kelvin Clark. They're 2 laps down, 3 laps down for Lachlan Akija O'Brien and Tim Blundell. Marty Mitchell, unfortunately, 4 laps down currently. Oh, that looked like Tim. Sorry, not Tim. Aaron. Ron Thompson. I'll get it right there. It looked like he blasted the wall as the camera cut. But I'm just trying to look on the track map, leaderboard, things like that to get an idea. But it doesn't look like it was him, or it wasn't as bad as it seemed. Triple one though, I do see him dropping it back through the field. It's Colin Bruns, not sure what's happened there. It does look like he's come to a stop. He's got that one towed over to the pits. Matthew Budd also running his way through pit lane at the moment. No caution called from that, so the boys still have to race it out a bit longer. Lap 82, 66 laps remain. Oh, geez, that's still a lot. 60 odd laps is still a good race. The boys willing to bet have at least one pit stop remaining. Because of that earlier pit stop after the first caution. Colin Bruns still in the pits, 3 laps down. Marty Mitchell should be able to get along by him soon to get that spot back. Alright, 84, 64 to go. So just 8 cars on the lead lap now. Jason Holdsworth, our leader. Ron A. Thompson second. Stephen Williams in third. Ruben Phelps and Daniel Stevens fourth and fifth. Matthew Raymond, Nigel Seidel and Maxi Marshall 6th, 7th and 8th. That is the lead lap. Traffic 1 lap down. Henry King and Aaron Gilbert in 9th and 10th. 2 laps down. Adam Malone, Adam Johnson, Kelvin Clark, Matthew Budd, Brian Blundell and Tim Blundell 3 laps down, along with Lachlan Akija, Marty Mitchell 4 laps down. 18 car field that still remains. Just 60 to go. 88 of 147. This is the Australian NASCAR eSeries. Friday night trucks powered by Beat the Dark. Mental health matters. We're here at Darlington Raceway, the 13th round and the last round before we get to the playoffs. So the winner of this race will pick up that last ticket. So if some of these guys have already won, I know Jason's already secured his spot, so he's taking a seat away from someone else. If they want it, they are going to need to race for it. Now, 13 weeks in, it's the race before the playoffs. I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, Beat the Dark. Started off as a bit of an iRacing thing, and then basically have come on board to help out the Australian NASCAR eSeries with the Friday Night Truck Series, and Season 1 2024 is completely powered by that fantastic team at Beat the Dark. Now, the inception of Beat the Dark stems from a profound awareness of people grappling with uncertainty, anxiety, and depression. Now, while originally formed for the iRacing platform, Beat the Dark is a message applicable to all walks of life. Beyond its existence as an iRacing team, the Beat the Dark logo stands independently. We believe in the power of iRacing and the camaraderie it fosters to provide solace during challenging times. iRacing and online gaming serve as platforms that unite individuals from diverse backgrounds and age groups. Now, the distinctive colours of the logo symbolise both genders, and the striking face represents the modern-day crusader advocating for social change. We hope that by promoting this awareness, individuals can embrace their true selves and initiate honest conversations. If our efforts can assist even one person struggling, we consider it a worthwhile endeavour. So let's extend a warm thank you for everything that Beat the Dark have done as they power on the Friday Night Truck Series. And it's a good message because likewise, this place is what you would call a safe place, but if you know any Australians or have any Australians as friends, then you know it's not safe around them. Regardless, we are the culture that'll call our mates the famous C word, and we'll call famous C words mate. But no, seriously, if you ever want to chat, feel free to reach out. I'm always here, and you can talk whatever nonsense. All right, just 54 to go, lap 94 underway. 55 laps have been run on the current fuel conditions for the lead 3, 54 for the rest of the top 10 there, and then 52 is probably the worst for everyone else. At the 86 of the 4, that's Brian Blundell, Tim Blundell. Oh, look out, what's happened there? Looks like he was able to re-grab it again. I'm not quite sure who that is. I think that's Marty Mitchell. No, yeah, Marty Mitchell, because there's Matthew Raymond there. Adam Johnson as well. Some of the boys are starting to go in. Lap 57 seems to be the limit for a few. Ruben Phelps Daniel Stevens in 4th and 5th for 1. Looks like Jason Holdsworth might have also gone in. That's going to leave Ron A. Thompson out there on the track as our leader. He was a few laps down for a couple of guys, so I believe Jason Holdsworth, Matthew Raymond, gentlemen like that are going to hold their position while the pit situation is taken care of. It looks like 59, 60 is the window. 50 to go is going to leave them with just enough to get home by the looks of that. Oh, 229 just... Adam Johnson absolutely hip checked the wall. There he is there, Kingsman Racing. Ron Thompson heading into the pits. It looks like the 11 is rolling out. There's that damage on the 06 I was talking about from earlier that led to our only caution so far. Alright, just trying to get order of it all while everyone's into the pits. I think we'll give it another lap or two before we try and make sense of where everyone currently is. I believe Jason Holdsworth is our race leader. Henry King second, Stephen Williams third, fourth Ron Thompson. Matthew Raymond would currently be in 5th place. .46 to go, lap 102 is underway. This race has about a third of the way to go. Jason Holdsworth firmly back in control. As I say, he's already locked himself in a position in the playoffs. So really taking food out of these other drivers' mouths here. But look, that's the name of the game. You want it, you got to earn it. All right, give me just 2 moments. We'll be back in a second. When I'm back, we'll try and make sense of the full field and where everyone's at. All right, riding along with, I believe that's Brian Blundell now with Matthew Raymond in 6th place. 42 laps to go, but Jason Holsworth coming into 3 and 4 right now. I can see that on the track map. So 107 almost here, 41 laps to go. 20 more minutes of racing action ahead of us. There's Henry King. I think it's Tim Blundell. It is behind him. Maxie Marshall, Ron Thompson, Stephen Williams up there in front. Thompson, Stephen Williams having a bit of a battle there. Sort of see at the front of that 4-car pack. Second and third still not completely sewn up, but with 38 laps to go, I don't think any position's truly sewn up right now. Jason Holsworth does have a fairly good grasp of first place and has done so for quite some time. These guys really making Darlington Raceway look a lot better racing wise than it has been known for, at least in my eyes. Just side by side racing there. That's Maxie Marshall. No, it was Henry King and Maxie Marshall. Just 34 laps remain. Looks like 6 cars still in the lead lap. Jason Holsworth, Ron Thompson, Stephen Williams, Ruben Phelps, Daniel Stevens, and Matthew Raymond. Maxie Marshall's there in 7th lap. Down 2 laps down to Henry King in 8th. Then we've got 3 laps down. Lachlan Cujo in 9th, 10th. Kelvin Clark and Brian Blundell. 4 laps down. Tim Blundell and Adam Johnson in 12th and 13th. 5 laps down, Matthew Budd in 14th, 15th, Aaron Gilbert, but Matthew Budd currently in the pits. Marty Mitchell in 16th with 6 laps down, 17 laps down in the pits. Nigel Seidel, 32 laps down and retired. Adam Malone, Colin Bruns is in the pits, 36 laps down as well. So as you can see on that leaderboard, 31 laps to go. We're on 117 of 147. Jason Holdsworth has had a great run. 29.124 was his quickest lap. 30.229 was his last lap. 31.06. His opponent, Ron Thompson, in second, has the quick time that there. Just the one caution so far, very much on the over and under of things here at Darlington Raceway. A couple of little incidents that the guys were able to get back in shape and keep moving, and yeah, it's just a testament to these drivers' abilities. As the bonnet of the 57, Daniel Stevens, currently riding in 5th place. 36.87 was his last lap. He's a little off the pace, but holding on to that top 5 run. All right, I was going to start talking there, but I thought the 203 was on a bit of a drift there with the 86 in front of him, coming around that turn. Sorry about just under him, but looked like that was okay. They were watching each other, I guess, keeping everything in line. The 83 of Matthew Raymond there. He's got Jason Holdsworth, the race leader. Daniel Stevens, 5th place, just behind him. There'll be 25 laps to go very soon. We're about to start lap 1, 2, 3. Oh, the 203 got a bit loose there. Little overcorrect up into the wall, but nothing too crazy. We can see there the 11, the 53, 63 or 83, sorry, 83, 57, 203. There, the 11, that car right there, he's our race leader. Looking to see out the final 24 odd laps without incident. Comes nice and casual under the 83 of Matthew Raymond. Matthew Raymond, of course, battling his own battles there. Daniel Stevens back behind him. Does not want to give up that top 5 finishing position. All right, 127 to 147, just 10 minutes of racing action to go. Boys, if you've got a plan, now's the time to execute. It is 21 laps to go. Jason Holdsworth is trying to figure things out. Okay, I guess he's a lap down. I was just trying to work out how the fifth place Matthew Raymond appeared to be on the lead lap, but in fifth ahead of the two place Ron Thompson. But no, he's a lap down there. '83 of Matthew Raymond still has the 57 of Daniel Stevens behind him. He is in fifth. Daniel's in sixth, so he does not want to give that position up. Does have the 86 of Brian Blundell, who's lap traffic in front of him, and the leader of this race, Jason Holdsworth, as well. But it's a bit tricky. You got to sort of pick your battles. Sometimes lap traffic you don't need to really play with because it's not a gain or a loss in any sense, unless they're holding you up. But even then, you know, if they are, they then know to let you go. Or it looks like the 86 went up to get out of the way, got into the wall. That killed a lot of momentum. Matthew and Daniel able to get by both. They're both able to get by, Brian Blundell. Ron Thompson back behind Brian Blundell now. He's in second place. 3 cars separate him and the leader. Brian Blundell just getting along under the along the underside, of Daniel Stevens. He will put a car between Matthew Raymond and Daniel Stevens, 5th and 6th place. So that's a bit of a breather for Matthew there. Only 4 cars on the lead lap. Jason Holdsworth, Ron Thompson, Stephen Williams and Ruben Phelps. 15 cars still in it. Matthew Budd, Adam Malone and Darren McKenzie have all retired. Nigel Seidel and Colin Bruns have elected to watch the rest of this race out from the pits. There's the 777. That's Kelvin Clark just tagging the wall. His tyres getting a little bit sad. 33 laps on them. And he might not be able to run them as hard as he would like. .38 laps. Jason Holdsworth has run 13 to go. That's going to take him up to about 51 laps on the tyres and fuel. Should definitely get him over the line. For those of you that watched last week's race and might have tuned in for the interview with Jason as well, he literally ran out coming to the line. There's about a 100-200 metre gap between the restart line and the start-finish line, and he ran out about halfway between those 2 points and drifted over the line with an empty tank. So I think he might be a little bit less worrying this week. There's the 2nd place, Ron A. Thompson. We also spoke to him. I believe he came 2nd last week as well. There's our 3rd place car, Stephen Williams. Ruben Phelps, the last car there behind. Oh, please don't jinx him, Bob. Ruben Phelps there looks like he tagged the wall and shot straight off of it. As I went to call him 4th place in our last car on the lead lap. That is the quickest way for him to fall off that lead lap. All right, 138 to 147, 10 to go. 777 to Kelvin Clark, the 229 of Adam Johnson. Kelvin Clark currently 11th. Adam Johnson, I believe I've lost him 12th. There he is. It's our second place driver right now. The 22 qualified in 2, currently running in 2. See the other high crazy fuel runs there. 44's the most for Stephen Williams in 3rd. With 9 to go, you got to think that's not really a big concern. So fuel consumption, that early caution, looks like it's really helped them map that race out well. We're in the 140s, just 8 laps to go. So Ron Thompson has separated that gap between himself and Jason Holdsworth, but with 7 laps to go, you've got to think that it's not going to be enough. It could be a good little 3-car draft. Let's have a look at the lap times. No, Jason is what looks to be about half a second, 6/10 quicker. 39.16 to 31.505. If that ain't a message, I don't know what is. Alright, it is 5 to go. Let's get up to the man and watch him bring this one home. Let's try not to jinx a late caution or something. Doesn't want to seem to jump up to him. Oh, you'll not want it. There we go. 4 to go as we come into 1 and 2 for the 144th time. Jason running some great speeds. Very little difference in the lap time last lap between Jason Holdsworth and Ron Thompson. Jason Holdsworth 31.005, 39.69 for Ron Thompson. Just over 300ths of a second faster is Ron Thompson. Jason Holdsworth possibly the quicker one there, 39.09 to 38.67. Oh man, if we had a few extra laps on our hands, or if we had a caution, Ron was coming. $31,169 to $31,009. If Ron A. Thompson, the favour of. 2 laps to go. We've just got to get around 3 and 4 here, and it will be the white flag lap. Oh, Jason, don't let it go yet. A few little wall taps. There's the white flag, buddy. That should give you just that last little bit of sense of control, and all you to do is get her home now. That will wrap up the regular season for the Friday night trucks powered by Beat the Dark. We do have the playoffs to come. But the regular season is over. There it is. Congratulations, Jason Holsworth, picking up another victory. This time here at Darlington Raceway. Ron Thompson second. Stephen Williams third. Reuben Phelps and Matthew Raymond took out the fourth and fifth spots. Maxie Marshall, Henry King, Daniel Stevens, Brian Blundell, and Tim Blundell were the top 10. Kelvin Clark, Adam Johnson, Lachlan Akijo, Aaron Gilbert, and Marty Mitchell 11 to 15. Then our remaining 5, Matthew Budd in 16th, Nigel Seidel 17th, 18th, Adam Malone, Colin Bruns in 19th, and 20th, Darren McKenzie. All right. Let's get over to the interview booths. There's the 98. Stephen Williams just getting a little bit low, showing how little tyre he had left. He's our last guy that we're waiting on, so we'll just give him a moment. Oh, Moist Moller with the good race. Thank you for tuning in, Moist. Thank you for the like, Lolly. All right, let's have a look and see. We do. All right. Hopefully we're not cutting them off at mid-conversation, but we're going to start off with our third placed Stephen Williams. Started off in 8th tonight, Stephen back on the 4th row, and just the one caution now at Darlington. I think it's one of those tracks that's just sometimes you can't avoid a yellow flag, but one caution I feel like was really low on the over under, and what our expectations were for the race. What about yours?
Yeah, it is to be expected cautions here because it is a hard track to drive. But I think also because it's so hard to drive, everyone really concentrates on the drive, and that
Yeah,
actually makes up for it. So you you can quite often. I reckon a few people got caught out then by trying to save a set of tires for a late caution. You know,
definitely.
like yeah,
Yeah.
that's all. And I've been caught out by that, and wasn't going to do it again. But it also stops you at the end if there is that late caution.
Yeah, it's sort of damned if you do, damned if you don't, almost in that instance. But look, yeah, I don't think I would have blamed anyone if they sort of went, look, we'll hold on to a set of tires, or we'll use up all of the tires. We'll go back in late. There's gonna be a caution probably early, a bit late when the tires start to fade. And look, there were incidents on the track. There were accidents. But
Yeah,
just as you say, it's a technical track. It's tough, so people are a lot more smarter on it. So they were able to recover, and they were a lot more sort of a lot. People were a lot sensible. They weren't. You see it on the officials. Someone gets loose, and the moment someone gets loose, it's like, okay, I'm going to race past him to get that position. And people sort of gave people room and made sure that everyone was not giving them a hand, holding their hand, but definitely not getting in their way unnecessarily. And I think that kept the caution count pretty low.
yep, yeah, and I think as well possibly when people are losing it to the inside, I think there's might be a little bit of more leeway on throwing a caution because they're right off racing surface. So
Exactly. Yeah, we did see that. Who was it? It was the triple one, Colin Bruns. He went in about 70, 69, 70 laps ago, and I think he had that sort of situation where he did come unstuck, but was nice and early below the yellow, and that kept A, himself out of the way of the races, and B, that the race green. It didn't call that yellow. He was able to get himself get the tow truck out and tow him back to the pits. So no,
yep,
good decisions, good racing by everyone involved, I think.
yeah. No, so one track, yeah, I really enjoy it a lot, but some people hate it, But nah, yeah, when
I'm
green runs around here, it's really you've got to be on the ball to not make those mistakes.
exactly, yeah. I remember when I was coming up through the street stocks and the D class stuff. I think it's I'm not sure, it's the open, some sort of open wheel type of I guess late model or something. And I didn't mind I could learn how to race that here. It sort of felt like it was the car for the place. But then when I got to trucks, and I was like, oh yeah, it's like it's just a whole different beast. I feel like my throttle control isn't quite there for. It's not a short track, but I still think it, because it's, I call it the paperclip. I think it is probably the super speedway of short tracks.
Yeah.
It's long, but it's 3 and 4. Oh my god, they are technical. But you guys, you definitely made it look pretty easy here tonight.
Definitely wasn't easy, and it's had a few good laps there with Ron side by side. Like it's you got to really trust the person next year to be racing side by side around here.
Oh, definitely. And I did see a bit of that out there, where people were racing side by side. It was like, are and then it's like, I remember I'm not on the track. I don't have to act or consider options like it would be if I was on the track. You guys, definitely, as we said at the start, they're smart, patient driving. We saw not a lot of really action for the first 40, 50 laps, but with the exception of probably that 40, I think, pit stop where a bit of it got reshuffled, and yeah, it was back to business. But then that last 40, geez, yeah, you guys put on a show. Now it's the end of the regular season, playoffs coming up. Now you'd already secured yourself a seat in that one. In fact, you're I think probably second on the board. Both you and Connor to no, have you had a third win since then? I'm sure someone's had a third win.
I'm not too sure. I know definitely had two.
Yep.
Can't remember. It might be
But
three.
but
Yeah.
no, you're definitely in the playoffs. I think this will be. I think Jason's picked up. I think this might be his third actually, because I know he had one coming out of round 8. We're now round 13, obviously, so it's sort of a little bit outdated information that I'm running off of. But yeah, it's going to be fun to watch the playoffs go through. As I understand it, it's sort of regular racing, but a lot of the points only really relate to you guys in the playoffs, and where you finish versus the other guys. Have you had any experience in playoffs? Do you sort of have an idea of where you're going to go in the race, like how you just handle the race like every other race, or?
Yeah. Just go out there and see where you end up. Try not to get involved in stuff.
Yep.
And but yeah, I'm gonna have to work on some type of setups and stuff like that because I'm pretty much only running what we run the night before in NASCAR, which I think is just about baseline, which is just nothing compared to yeah what Jason and Ron and stuff like that run. It's all right for a few laps, but you'll just burn your stuff up and can't be consistent like they can a lap after lap.
Yep.
So definitely going to have to. I just don't have the time, so try find the time to try find something to actually compete.
Yeah, well, 250 laps at North Wilkesboro is going to be one heck of a race. We've got Charlotte coming up soon as well, which I do enjoy. All right, my man. Look, congratulations. Best of luck with everything else that you've got going on for the racing week. I think I've got actually got the X Series on Tuesday night. So if you do race that one, we will see you again Tuesday night. But before we let you go, friends, family, sponsors, who do you need to give a shout out to?
Hey, just you for putting on the stream. It's good to watch back, see
Appreciate
what
it.
else has been happening in the race. Nigel and everyone else behind the league, putting the series on. Simrigs.com, Southwood Lifts and Hoists, Ben Max Mechanical, NP Designs, and all the fellas at DPR Racing, and all the other fellas that out here week after week racing.
Definitely, man. Well, look, congratulations yet again. Good run, good solid run in that top 10, in that top 5 for a lot of the race as well. And yeah, taking home that podium finish. So best of luck next week, and hopefully we talk soon.
All right, cheers. Thanks for that.
Thanks, mate. All right, that was Stephen Williams. He finished in third today. We're going to grab Ron Thompson. Hope he wasn't mid-sentence with the boys. Now we heard from Ron, I think in the same spot last week, Ron, to the same guy, actually. But Darlington, 147 laps. How many of those did you enjoy?
Oh man, Darlington's a lot of fun. I enjoyed them all. I'm wore out from it, but I uh I liked it. I enjoyed it. I've always liked Darlington. It's been tough, but I was happy to keep it out of the wall.
Yeah, definitely looked like the wall was a bit of an obstacle. For me, I always imagine it's going to be the backstretch, but it's really, I guess, just how quickly it straightens up out of 4 that a lot of people getting sort of off guard on, and carrying a little bit of speed into 1. Obviously, that's the car float up, but no, you started off in second place, and I think with the exception of that first caution and the slightly staggered pit stop, I think it was only a lap difference between you and Jason. Yeah, second place
Yeah,
run pretty much the whole way through. Your main competition, I think you probably had more fun racing some of the lap guys, just because it was a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of preparation and planning and stuff like that.
yeah, that was, and it was, and the guys are always good in this league to understand their racecraft, and nobody made it bad to pass. And they know when to get it off. I had fun with Stevie Williams there
Yep.
after come out of pit stops because I knew if I didn't pass him early, I didn't want the tires to get away from me. So, but I didn't have he's always fun to race with. I know he's going to be clean, so I definitely wasn't going to try to get into him. So I was happy one time he got a little bit loose, and I thought, okay, there's my opening, and that gave me a little bit of run in, but he's always been fun
Yeah.
as well as a bunch of these guys in here.
Definitely. It's been a great series. I came in. I feel like I'm still a bit of a NASCAR rookie in terms of knowledge and whatnot. But 13 weeks ago when I came in and first started broadcasting this series, it was a whole new world to me broadcasting wise. I've raced the trucks and stuff plenty of times, but you guys have been absolutely amazing putting on a show week after week, and really, like, I know I've got friends who just watch it because they know me, who aren't interested necessarily in the race cars too much, but say that they come out of it knowing a little bit about the race cars, a little bit more about the drivers as well, and things like that. So no, it's a great partnership. I really appreciate you guys and everything you do out there, and the show that you put on. Now I said to Stephen, I thought the over under on the cautions was a little bit lower than I was expecting. Just that one caution was a crash between, I believe, Ruben and Darren McKenzie. But were you wanting a call? I feel like, not to jump to the end of sort of your race and the question before I get to the actual proper question, but looking at the lap times, you were really coming back there in those last 4 or 5 laps, 10 laps. Um, do you feel like a bit of a late caution somewhere between 110 laps in would have sort of been your last shot, or do you feel like you could have gotten Jason given some different circumstances?
Now it'd been tough to get on Jason this week. I know he really likes Darlington, and he
Yeah.
was steady on kill. That was i- if we had a late caution, nobody else had no tires, and so that's why it worked out the best it did.
Yep.
I mean, some traffic did hold him up a little bit, and I got there, but then I had to go back through the same traffic. Um, but all Holdsworth, congratulate him on his run. I know he crew chiefed it. I was able to lead a lap, staying out, and so hopefully that'll bring me up another point or something. But it was a fun time. But
Uh,
yeah, no caution at the end, especially when we only had 2 sets of tires for the whole race. extra, and
Yep.
we had to use them up on each pit stop.
Definitely say just having that spare is good, but obviously not needed in the end. Now this obviously wraps up the end of the regular season. I don't have an update on points in terms of who is definitely in the playoffs, but we're off to um, North Wilkesboro next. 250 laps, one of the longest races on the circuit, if not the longest. I think actually this one's going to be our biggest one yet. 250 laps. In terms of lap count, obviously distance wise, it's going to be sort of in there with the rest of them. But what's North Wilkesboro like?
Well, I'm hoping I can at least stay competitive there. I've got to get some testing done, but all in all, North Wilkesboro's always been a track. It's close to where I live, actually, and
Oh, yep.
only about 40 minutes away. And I like. I seen it sitting there when it was all full of weeds and trees, and then they cleaned it all up. So, but now with it back on the circuit, it means a lot for the NASCAR community. So I want to participate and do well.
Definitely. I've noticed that where, especially in officials with myself, like you just get to know you get to know some of the nicer guys in your I rating sort of strength of field, and you sort of start to recognize a few of them. You'll talk to them, you'll learn about you'll learn that one guy, this is his home track, and he goes and watches every race, and it just spurs you on that little bit more. I'm lucky we've got at least I think we've got two Australian tracks in the game. They're road courses, and NASCAR generally don't get to them. But no, that home field advantage is true regardless whether it's virtual or not. So looking forward to that one. That's going to be a big race, 250 laps. That one's going to be a big test of patience.
I think it will. I think it'll turn out good. It's going to be some, probably some cautions. And there's some good racing, and everybody wants to do well. So, hopefully I can come through there unscathed and stay clean, and we'll see what happens from there.
That's it.
But it's.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh no, Bob, you're good.
All right. Look, best of luck next week. Hopefully, we'll see you on our screens again on Tuesday night for the X Series, powered by Nitro Racing. If not, we'll see you again on Friday night for the Friday night trucks, powered by Beat the Dark. Before we let you go, though, friends, family, and sponsors, who do you want to give a shout out to?
Oh yeah, I had a couple guys come on the truck this week. Fantasia Pastoral Company out there with the creamers, and then I had Patton Plumbing from New Wales, South New Wales. He was always in the box, so that's always good. But Nitro team, Nitro sets, and as always, the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's.
Excellent, man.
And you as well, Bob, and you as well, man. I know it's tough being up there in the box, calling a race like this where it's all green and the leader's out by 4 5 seconds. So I was hoping at least me and Stevie Williams got to put on a show for a few laps and give you some coverage.
No, definitely did. I've got some good software, and it does manage to help me bounce around the action. So, no, appreciate you guys because we did get some good two wide racing, which doesn't normally sound too exciting in a NASCAR oval track, but here at Martinsville, two wide is side by side racing is pretty brave and ballsy, but. 13 weeks gives you a lot of confidence in the guys around you, and like you say, you can recognize the ones that are better to have around you than not. No, it works out well.
Fantastic. Well, we appreciate it.
All right, man. Talk to you soon. You have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you. All right, that was Ron Thompson. He's our second place finisher. Started in second, finished second. Now, this man don't have a lead lap counter, but pretty much led all of the laps, bar I think a handful, maybe one. If that's it, one if most. Yeah, Ron stayed out for that one lap.
Yep.
So 146, we'll say 147 because the official lap count in the race is 148. But Jace, is this your third win? I think.
My third win.
Yeah,
Yep.
congratulations. You picked up a win last week, pick up a win this week. I was sort of trying to spur the other guys on mentally by letting them know that you're taking dinner off their plates by winning this race. You've already secured yourself a playoff position and then some. So wanted to see if some of the other guys might have been a bit hungry, but geez, did not let him have a chance. Got that car out there, pretty much 1.5 second lead when you're running by yourself. A little bit of pack traffic slowed you down a bit, but by the time the boys Ron and Stephen and whatnot caught up to you, you pretty much had gotten through that. Then they had to contend with it. Darlington, I think you mentioned it last week that you don't mind it. I think that's a little crazy, but I didn't realize exactly how nice you liked it.
I've done a lot of laps here, Bob. That's all it comes down to. It's been Darlington. You just got to learn how to be comfortable being near the wall, and figuring out where the grip is. Probably the biggest secret is to not overdrive it here, because like damage always affects your car, your truck. I think I hit the wall with 2 laps to go, so
Yep.
fortunately, it didn't affect my race. But yeah, Darlington, very tough track. You're not really racing the field as much; you're racing yourself. And obviously, I just had a good day. It
That
was one of those days. Got the lead, clear air.
definitely got the hot lap 29 at 1:24, officially the quickest lap out there tonight. I can't tell you what lap that was. I know it came after the first pit
Second
stop.
stint.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
definitely once the track had sort of come in a bit and a bit of gravel and stuff to get a hold of. But North Wilkesboro next week now, lap count wise, the biggest offering of the season, 250 laps. Both Ron and Stephen have said they're gonna have to put some time in. Stephen especially said set wise, he generally sort of just runs with a basic thing, but North Wilkesboro sounds like it's going to bring out a bit of a competition of the sets and some pre-game is going to be needed. How much work are you going to put into it?
A lot. I've already done a few laps already, to be honest.
Yep.
Just to reacquaint myself with the track. But yeah, obviously, you're gonna have to work on setup. I'm away for Charlotte because I'm actually at Charlotte. I'm going to the Coke 600,
Oh,
so
wow, awesome.
I'm probably going to need to either win Wilkesboro or win Gateway to get through the next round.
Get
So
through the next stage of the
I'm
playoffs.
preparing to do some work this week to try and get that done at Wilkesboro.
Yep.
But luckily enough, Gateway is actually a very good track for me as well. So if I don't get it there, hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get it done at Gateway. But with the competition and the Friday night trucks, um, going into the playoffs, I expect everyone to be bringing their A game. So I'm not imagining it's going to be easy.
No, definitely not. 20 cars is still, this late into the run, and guys in the back half, 11 to 10, have come close to winning races or have been in the top three, and likewise with a lot of the guys in the current top 10. Maxi Marshall. I'm not sure if he's someone who sort of raced a bit earlier or has raced in other leagues, but the other divisions. But sort of got some of the guys that have come out of the woodwork and are just really in the mix. He finished sixth here tonight. Ruben, we know, is capable of getting it done. Stephen, he's got a couple already under his belt. Ron's constantly in that top three. You just can't rest on those laurels, can you? You have to put that little bit of extra effort in.
Yeah, definitely not. Like you see that, like yeah, Stevie and I have got 3 wins each out of the 13, but there's still a lot of wins that have been spread around amongst the whole field. Plus, the guys that didn't get wins have always been up there. So for them, they get to play the point game, where they can obviously, if they run all 3, they'll potentially make it to the next round on points. But I've really got to go for a win. So I'm not expecting them to make my job easy.
No, definitely not. I mean, they don't now. So if they're gonna, if that means like it's gonna be like an even more sort of considered effort and of making it harder. Yeah, God, I'm glad I'm up in the booth and you're down there behind that wheel because that looks manic for me down there. Not a lot more to really talk about that race. It was pretty much textbook, like you say, race yourself, not the track, not the car. The car's out there. It's just hit your marks and do your thing, and that pretty much brought out a very consistent race. I mean, 29.1 for your quickest lap, 31.45, 4.35 for your last lap, 31.2 for Ron Thompson. There was certainly a little bit of speed. I got a little bit of a. I was looking at the count, and I was like, I think it was about 10 to go. I started really paying attention, and Ron was. He just sort of got through some of the lap traffic and was I guess trying to make a run on you, and it was always about 2 tenths, a little bit quicker than you, and I was just like, math wise, gap wise, I don't think there's enough, but if there is a late caution, this could be very interesting. And then, like you mentioned, you'd have that wall with 2 to go. I saw that, and I was just like, oh no, just focus. You got to the white flag. I was just like, yeah, just that's it. You should, just know that you've just 3 more turns to go, and you're there. Because gosh, yeah, you don't want to lose a race 146 laps in like that. But no, I did. I thought for a second there that Ron was coming, but I did the math, and it wasn't mathematically possible. But yeah, I don't know if you could sense any dread. That was the dread coming your way via the broadcaster sort of curse.
I was worried about a caution. Ron probably had the better tires at the end of that
Yep.
final stint. But as the leader, you get to jump because obviously we got no tires over the wall, so no one was pitting. I'm just glad it didn't happen. That's all I can say, Bob. I'm happy that we got to see it. No green, white checkers or late race cautions where it would have put me under pressure. I was fine managing the lead. Obviously, going in and out of traffic always provides a challenge at Darlington. But yeah,
I can't remember the last
happy there's
time.
no caution.
I can't remember the last time I saw it. Like green white checkered's almost like a consistent sort of part of your race, not your races in here, but like in especially my experience in terms of the officials, a very common, a lot more commonplace than I expected, and I don't know how. I mean, I know I think we've run about we run about 200 laps green between the last 3 races. I think because the last race went full green. This one about 30, 40 laps in. The last one obviously it was pretty early green. So yeah, it's certainly not something that if you are relying on, oh okay, hopefully a caution will come out that'll give me a reshot of this guy. If you're relying on those, you can't really rely on it, and at the same time, yeah, you've always got to be careful. You've got to be on the other side going, yeah, I've got to keep doing everything I can because if there is a caution and someone gets another shot at you, yeah, it's just oh so much harder. But I think next week's going to be the telling one. That's going to be the big one in that instance, I think.
Yeah, short track, first round of the playoffs. It is going to be an absolute challenge. Obviously, as I said, I'm expecting everyone to bring the A game again. Um, yeah, just obviously there's quite a few people that are qualified for the playoffs, so they were probably taking it pretty easy in the last few weeks. So yeah, come next week, yeah, it's all on again.
Definitely, man. All right, look, well, congratulations. We should possibly see you again Tuesday night for the X Series round here at Darlington Raceway. But if not, we'll see you again at Friday night for I'll say round 14, but round 1 of the playoffs. Before we let you go, friends, family, sponsors, who do you want to give a shout out to?
Massive thanks to Dan. I ran his set tonight. It was absolute rocket ship. Obviously, all guys at Nitro that put in all the work, and naturally helped me obviously with the coaching. So big shout out to all those boys. Thanks for you for doing the broadcast, Bob, and obviously Nige putting this all together. So yeah, thank you too.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Look, well, thank you very much. I've got the easiest job. I get to sit here and watch you guys race and just talk about it. So thank you for putting on a good show as always. We'll see you next week for what will be a very important round in the 3 race stop for the playoffs.
Yep. See you then, Bob.
See you, man. All right, that wraps up our broadcast for this evening. We will be back Sunday evening at US. That's Monday morning Australian time for the Motorwear International late models and sprint cars. Tuesday night with the Wayne's World Mod Series and the Ron Watcher Brung Series. And then Tuesday night US will be the Knuckleheads iRacing League's Roberts Electrical Dirt Street Stocks. Thank you so much for tuning in for tonight's round of the Australian NASCAR eSeries Friday Night Trucks powered by Beat the Dark. Mental health matters. We want to thank you all for tuning in, liking, sharing, interacting, all of that beautiful stuff. I got the hiccups apparently. My name is Bob. Thanks for watching.